as a mother and as an American. And I want to say to this mother that is here, we've already called you a hero of which you would wish not to be, because you have a child that has been impacted. As I sit here today, the memories of a Jim Jones who gave a poison concoction to children causes me to say that there is a Jim Jones in Michigan who gave a poison concoction to children and their families. If any of us should demand accountability, we should. I want to ask Mr. Edwards, before I pursue a questioning of Mr. Craig. Mr. Edwards, you have given a recounting of just not putting phosphate in water. And I know that you are not a judge or a jury, and I know you're a man that believes in the Constitution, but if you had to reflect, would you say that there were criminal activities or results of this inaction?
If it's not criminal, I don't know what is.
I join you in that questioning, and I have asked the Department of Justice to investigate individuals that may be engaged criminally, to hold them criminally responsible for the actions in Flint, Michigan. Let me raise a question. Were you trying to finish a sentence, Mr. Edwards? Because I have your whole series here. Mr. Cray, in your statement, you claim, and I quote, regardless of the testing schedule allowed by the EPA rule, in hindsight, when the lead levels began to rise, corrosion treatment should have been required from the MDEQ. Now, end your quote. However, rather than taking full responsibility for this decision, you then criticized the EPA for failing to provide a legal interpretation of the lead and copper rule until November 2015. You said, my observation is that the EPA did not display the sense of urgency that the situation demanded. This is underscored by conversations started in February 2015 regarding implementation of the federal lead and copper rule. Between February and the end of September 2015, there were multiple email exchanges and conference calls between the MDEQ and EPA. Yet when the parties were unable to come to a consensus on its implementation in July 2015, the EPA failed to provide the legal opinion by the MDEQ until November 25th. As I present this question, let me again thank the Chairman and Ranking Member. Let me thank former Mayor Lawrence for her leadership. And let me say to the newly elected Mayor, Mayor Weaver, let me applaud you, for you were not, this was not on your watch and not on your clock. But I'm committed, as we all are to you, that the fix will come on your watch. Mr. Cray, are you telling this committee that the reason that the MDEQ failed to require corrosion control treatments in Flint water was because EPA did not give you a legal interpretation stating you had to do that? Where was your own moral and fiduciary responsibility?
I'm not stating that.
What are you stating, sir?
I'm not stating that the only reason why there was not corrosion control was because of a lack of a legal opinion from EPA.
All right,
My
sir.
testimony said that we should have, at the latest, once the first round of 6-month testing came, we should have taken some action.
So you are not taking the position that you could not act as an independent state, as the 10th Amendment says, what is not left to the federal government can be left to the state, and the safety and security of your Michiganders, I would assume that you would be concerned about. Is that correct?
We are concerned about the Michiganders.
And in essence, it was a malfeasance, or let me just say that there was an inaction in not doing what was supposed to be done. Is that correct, sir?
In hindsight, I think we all share in a responsibility for a crisis in Flint water.
Well, let me say that those were closest to it, but let me just say this. It's strange belief is your testimony, again, that the aging lead service lines and all that needed to be done was at the feet of the federal government. So I just want to hear you again. It was not in totality at feet of someone other than the authorities in Michigan, in this instance, the state.
I believe we all share responsibility in this crisis.
Well, let me say this. You're now in the midst of the federal government. We're all saying we want to help. Let me ask this question. And let me thank MSNBC Rachel Maddow, who took her show to Flint, Michigan, and gave us all even an added inspiration of change. And let me thank pastors in my community who are eager to be there and help, and the Red Cross. But the point is that we know there's a figure of $50 to $60 million. We know that there needs to be a change in the pipes that lead to homes and the pipes in homes. Can you say because of the moral authority vested in you as the state government and the need to give a response, that you would engage and use or argue, or the governor who's not here, there should be an empty chair there, but he should spend the 50 to 60 million to completely overhaul the pipe system in the city of Flint. Would you agree to that?
The commitment from state government is that we're in it for the long haul for the citizens of Flint, and we'll work with our partners both at the city, state, and federal government to make sure we get it right, because no one deserves this.
You're an expert, sir. You're an expert. Can you just say that you'd be willing to reach to the
The gentlewoman's time has more than expired. Thank you.
Did he answer the question, Mr. Chairman?
Thank you. No, we're going to move on
All
to
right,
Morgan
thank you very much.
Thank you. We're going to move on to Morgan Griffith, the representative
your
from
courtesy.
Virginia. Thank you. Is now recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you very much.